sometimes get a little sad about, reading things on Reddit where they say I'm overrated and that I was underrated before Gehraiyaan, and then suddenly I was overrated. I was like, ठीक है तो मतलब ये लोग ही confused हैं. If somebody puts like a hate comment, I go on their profile and like every picture.
You're serious?
Yeah, I want to win them. I want to win everybody. I want to win the love.
Everyone has a backstory that you're not aware of. There's a reason why people are the way that they are. So the profession that we're in, where we have to like put on a face, so that kind of becomes second skin. Like you get too used to putting on a face and putting on an act.
I've especially found it hard when if I've gone through an intense day and then I've had to portray the opposite emotion.
Right.
It becomes really difficult.
Hi guys, welcome to The Quint, and thank you so much for talking to me. So in this film, right, we see so much that's happening in the world we live in, like the social media world that's around us, right? While filming, or what is the one thing that kind of stayed with you and you thought, okay, maybe this is something that I need to change about myself considering the social media world?
I guess it's about learning to be authentic to yourself.
Right.
So on some level, I think, and that's something that I think we all have to just kind of keep in mind, especially in the social media age on some level.
I think learning to accept and respect change is one thing which I've understood. A bit tough for a lot of people to kind of accept कि अरे ये ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है, या ये क्या profession है, या ये कोई काम है. To accept and respect the change which is happening in the society, I think is what is I have to make peace with it. So you can't be against it. You can't be preachy about it now.
So adapt to change.
Adapt to change.
I think about understanding that everything happens for a reason, or everyone has a backstory that you're not aware of. There's a reason why people are the way that they are. So to kind of look at things with a kinder and more empathetic lens.
Nice.
I may not relate to it, but maybe to understand people better.
That should have been my answer. Thank you.
Being patient with growth. That growth doesn't happen overnight, that it takes time. And it also literally, I faced that when, I started working on my physicality, and I used to get very impatient, and, our goal was to look like Brad Pitt from Snatch and Fight Club. After every day of working out, I'd be like, why am I not looking like that? Which is why I resonate so much with Aninda's character in the film, where she's comparing herself to Malaika. I mean, there are no shortcuts for this, You have to follow a certain regime, and only then at the end of a year or 15 months will you see the result. Patience to see growth.
Interesting. Especially when we live in a world where everything's so competitive.
Yeah.
And we want everything quick
To
and
happen
fast.
very fast, doesn't.
And then in film, your character kind of posts pictures to kind of get some kind of response, attention, even when she's not doing too well. There are these pictures that she's putting out to feel a certain way about herself, right? You guys are actors, right? You're in a profession where you can't really switch off, even if you're not feeling, say, mentally equipped to be present somewhere, to be a certain way, whether it's a shooting or whether it's a brand endorsement, it's a promotion. Has it ever happened to you that you guys have to sort of deal with it and yet be present but not there?
Catch myself doing this a lot because I can type without looking, and and it is something with our generation where our attention spans are so short, where we can multitask so easily. We're not really present anywhere because we're not retaining anything really. Like, it is something to do with our feeds and how much information overload there is right now. It's like everything is happening at once, and we've somehow mastered dealing with it. It's a bad habit, and now that I'm aware of it, I hope the next step is actually working on it. But also the profession that we're in, where we have to like put on a face, so that kind of becomes second skin. Like, you get too used to putting on a face and putting on an act. Like, it's a very sick feeling actually when you think about it, because it's like you could be dealing with anything in your life, but because you're forced to meet people and be happy and interact well with them, that you just have this like, I can just like have no feelings for like 8 hours, and then you go back home and you're like, I was in like a time capsule where I just switched off what was happening in my real life,
Sounds tough.
There's been a couple of moments where I've gone through something intense and sad in life, and it aligned with what was going on in my life in the film as well, my character's journey. And strangely enough, that helped me in some way. But I've especially found it hard when if I've gone through an intense day and then I've had to portray the opposite emotion.
Right.
It becomes really difficult sometimes. But it's our job at the end of the day. I feel that's why we get paid for what we do.
I just love my job. I feel whatever's going in my life personally, and there are times when you're not feeling the best, but I just feel so happy being on set or being, working, because how many people get a chance to be here? and everything else can pause and wait because they're my people, they'll know. But this is what I'm here for, and whatever mood I am in, trust me, I'm the happiest when the camera rolls. Even if I have to be sad in a scene or have to cry, I am just inside, I'm so excited and so happy. And I just feel like बहुत कम लोगों को chance मिलता है, and I'm here, so I feel very happy. When I go back home with my parents, I realize that, you know, at the same window I used to sit and dream. I realize that yes, there's nothing to complain about. We have to go a long way.
You know, in the film, we also kind of get this glimpse of how people are constantly looking for, say, an external validation. When you look at people around you all, and when you see people kind of constantly chasing that external validation, how do you kind of view it as people?
It's nice when people validate, but you know, I think I have my own projection of my dream in my head.
Nice.
So I don't give people that much power.
Hmm.
You know, I give them love, and that's what I expect. I don't give them power. Rahi baat, you know, that validation, I think you should give that, you know, the people around you, your family, your friends. The close circle has that, they can be like brutal and they can be honest.
Right.
But validation, वैसे इतना, you know, I don't let myself get carried away with that. You know, it's momentary. Sometimes get a little sad about, you know, reading things on Reddit where they say I'm overrated, and that I was underrated before Gehraiyaan, and then suddenly I was overrated. I was like, ठीक है, तो मतलब ये लोग ही confused हैं. So I like, why am I even thinking about this?
Like you said, let's not give them the power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody trolls me, you know, if somebody puts like a hate comment, I go on their profile and like every picture.
You're serious.
Yeah, I want to win them. I want to win everybody. I want to win the love. I do care about that. It's not like you hate me because I know there's something going in your life. But you know what? I know I've read your comment, and you know what? I still like you.
I actually think external validation is very important.
Hmm.
If you put two plants together next to each other, and if you tell one plant, if you don't talk to one plant at all, and if you keep telling one plant that the plant's really beautiful and that, wow, you look so green today and you look very healthy today, there is a difference in which the plants grow. It's literally that with humans, I feel. When I was a child, my parents were very encouraging towards my pursuit of music.
Yeah.
They always encouraged me. They told me that I was a good singer. They probably told me I was a better singer than I was. They always praised me in front of my relatives. That gave me a lot of faith and confidence in my ability.
Yeah.
That external validation helped me build who I am from inside. There are people I know who didn't get that, who were probably much better than any of those things than I was, but didn't get that from their family and friends and crumbled.
Right.
And felt like they didn't believe in themselves because nobody believed in them from the outside. People have to sometimes, especially when you're growing up, have faith in you and give you that belief from outside for yourself to start believing, because you're too young to form that idea yourself. But obviously, as you grow older, you need to understand where to seek validation from and who to seek validation.
But also, even now, a film like Hana's character, Ananya's character, Hana, like she's searching for validation in the wrong places. And over the course of the film, what she has to learn is that she has to love herself. And she needs to first believe in herself before she, like, and that's what's going to make her eventually feel better.
Yeah. You know, because of the followers and how social media, everyone's looking like, oh, how many followers you have and how many followers I have. You know, as actors, how much of an influence do you think that really has on your films or endorsements or on brands? Do you think that kind of has any influence depending on the popularity on social media?
It does.
Obviously, that's
Especially on brands and stuff, it does.
Brands.
But as actors, like, I'd never cast someone because they've got more followers than the other person. Like, I
For
would,
ads, and
for ads
We're
and
talking about
brands,
ads
commerce.
and
Oh,
brands
are
and
we talking
monetary
about- Not art,
purposes, but
commerce.
films is obviously different. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because I don't think social media popularity has anything to do with real life popularity. It's such a small sect of people. The real world out there is so big. Like, you know, someone can be super popular on Instagram and you go to, you know, any part of India and you don't get recognized, you know. So it doesn't have, it's not the same thing. But people confuse it as the same thing.
Yeah, a lot of people
And it's
confuse
sad.
Thank you and good luck for
Thank
the
you.
film.
Thank you so much.